Thank you. The choir is going to give us some form of entertainment, but before then, we have a word of prayer. Gracious God, our loving Father who art in heaven, we thank you for the gift of life and the gift of wisdom that you have given to us. You can get seated, and the choir will entertain. This is the powerful Machakos University Choir. They have 3 numbers. They will first welcome us, wageni mashuhuri, and then they will give us some other 2 numbers. Thank you. Karibuni.
Welcome home.
That is a welcome song for those of you who are viewing us live on the internet. That song is saying, Jambo, welcome to Kenya. Our country does not have problems. Haina matata. Thank you. They're giving us the last number, but I think we should clap for them. I'll teach you how to do it. When I say one, you clap 1, 2, 3. Then I say Yaju, you. And then I say Parliament, you stamp. Hi, 1. You. Parliament. 1. You. Parliament. Thank you. Now give us the last number so that we can now move on to the main program. And in this last one, if you feel like you want to shake your head a bit, shake your shoulder a bit, shake your hand a bit, feel free, because it is the essence of the music. So, yeah. Tuli, tuli, tuli. Tuli, tuli. We can clap in a rhythm. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. I want our guests to stand and just shake for a quarter minute. Our guests are standing and yeah, everybody, 1, 2, 1, 2. Hey. Yeah. Tuli, tuli. And now the guests can sit. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for a wonderful entertainment. Thank you, clap for them, clap for them. Clap for them. That's a wonderful choir of Machakos University. Remember, our colors are blue. We have a Luban workshop, the third in Africa for cloud computing. We have a magnificent hotel, which you have already experienced a bit. We have innovative students and staff in Machakos University, several of which have been patented. And you are now here enjoying the environment of the 5th International Conference, where we have many partners who have come to witness this great day. Now, before we go to the official actual opening, the speeches from our guests, I would like to give an opportunity to the participants who came from different parts, just a representative to say something, and then the student president, if you are here, come and say jumbo to the visitors. Take only half a minute, and then we invite the other delegates to be represented by their colleagues. So just say jumbo, don't take too long.
Thank you, Prof. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. My name is Ian Rob, and I'm the President, Student Association of Machakos University. And we are grateful to our university management for these forums, innovation forums. It has been helpful, and in the end, I believe innovations are valuable when you find values in utilizing them. And we will change our East Africa and Africa through these innovations. Thank you for our visitors. Welcome again to Machakos University. Enjoy. And after this, you can still stay around. We have students around. They'll take you through the school, even the county, Kenya. Thank you so much.
Our delegates from Uganda are going to be represented by Dr. Wycliffe Tusime.
Thank you. And for that, all right, so it shows how the conference has been. I'm Dr. Wycliffe Tusime. I want to first thank the team for entrusting me to represent you, to give some comments. First of all, I would want to introduce the delegation. We have been led by Dr. Patrick Serunjoji, maybe stand up for recognition, who also doubles as the head of Department Visual and Communication Design in the School of Art and Industrial Design. But also he has a special role in one of the events we are planning and is part of the planning committee. And also me, Wycliffe, I am here in two capacities. One, as the chair, Communications and Logistics Committee for the forthcoming conference in October. I'll talk a little bit about it later. but also to support the team of our PhD students who are here. Also, we have our graduate school secretariat representative, Ms. Charity Vyarugaba, who also is a student of leadership and management at master's level. I'm also privileged to introduce the doctoral students. Maybe you stand up for recognition. We have Sande Adong. I think she stepped out. We have Penlop Sasire. She's also a little bit out. Wiza Mayanja. Okay, Mayanja is there. Edward, yes. But also we have Grace Namara, finally. So we have been a team of 8, and we took a bus to here. And because our head had to be here first, we chose to make him fly over so that he can be here in advance. So we had the troop up and then the underground troops. Yes. I want to take this opportunity to bring greetings from our boss, the dean, from the school where we come from, because we come from the School of Art and Industrial Design, which is a multidisciplinary department. It's not only about art and design, but there are so many things, as you have been following the presentations. Our dean is a regular visitor to this institution, but also a friend to the institution, and is also part of the brain behind the collaboration and why we are here. And he sends his appreciation to Machakos University for willing to collaborate with us. We have had some of your professors coming down to support our PhD students, but also our staff. So the dean doesn't take that for granted, and also extends the invitation, having in mind that this is an international conference. He knew that there could be other partners who are coming to join. So he's extending invitation for more collaboration. So you are all invited by our dean, but also the university as large, to come and collaborate with us as a university. I want a little bit to talk about Chambogo University. The Kenyans call it Chambogo. So the KY, I think here is pronounced as a KH, which is very okay. Chambogo for us comes from just buffaloes. So Mbogo is a buffalo. So Chambogo, it was like a hill for buffaloes. And it is a university which was established 20 years ago in 2001 as a merger of 3 independent institutions which had their special niches. One was for technology, another one was for education, and another one for special needs education. So therefore, our niche as a university is just technology, education, and design. We have a capacity of about 30,000 students, and we have both international and local collaborations. And yes, you can find more details about our university by visiting our website, www.kyu.ac.ug. I want now to address myself to the conference at Machakos. We first of all appreciate the organizing committee and administration for a wonderful conference. Every experience we have had here, if we are ranking it, it is really high. The pre-conference communication was very great. Our students and us, the participants, we got prior communication in time, in real time, if I could say that. But also the reception has been so good. We want to appreciate the driver, Peter, who received us because he was so nice. And also the entertainment you have seen. For us, that was part really made us comfortable. The conference facilities, I would say this is really an international conference for us who have got opportunity to visit international conferences. But also the accommodation where we have stayed has been so good. Presentations and breakaway sessions have been well organized, and we appreciate, and we have borrowed a leaf from that. And we have been overfed. So we have had a lot of food during and after the conference sessions. Also, we have had really nice social sessions, but also networking with the professors here, but also the students. Charity was just there talking with the students, and we appreciate all this. Overall, we are excellently satisfied. Actually, we are pregnant with knowledge, with food, and I mean, Kenya, we are so happy. Thanks for the warm welcome.
And for the pregnancy, one. And for the satisfaction, one. We are set. Now, our guest will be leaving a little bit early, so the other speakers who are coming be a little bit brief, so that we can officially close and enjoy the evening. Ama namna gani? Yeah, the next team is led by Dr. Matinga, and that is Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe, 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 Zimbabwe. Thank you.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for this opportunity. My colleague from Uganda is done us justice. But let me take this opportunity to introduce my team, the colleagues that I came with from Zimbabwe. I have Mr. Thompson Lovu. He is in the Language Competence Center at the National University of Science and Technology in Zimbabwe. We also have Miss Precious Masaga. She is from the Sports Science Department at the National University of Science and Technology. So, and I am Dr. Tinashe Charles Matienga. I head the team in the Language Competence Center at the National University of Science and Technology. So the first thing I would want, when you look at the composition of our team, we actually brought a multidisciplinary team from the sports science and from the languages. This is because of the beauty of the conference that we were attending. This is an unusual occurrence. Thank you to the organizers for this brilliant opportunity. We are here because the platform offered access to the whole lot of us. We could have brought a bigger team, but I want to believe next time we want to charter a plane so that we bring a bigger team. And the greatest take home, we are here enjoying the Pearl of Africa. We have enjoyed our stay here. The take home that we have from this visit is that Kenya is a beautiful place. It is nice to be here. Thank you so much for the warm welcome. Thank you for the hospitality. Thank you for the opportunities that you have availed to us. We are forever grateful. Thank you, sir. And for this, and for that,
and for successfully imitating the MC, and for that, thank you. Now we have Dr. Dr. Mingate from Kenyatta University. KU. Kenyatta. Thank you.
Yes, I think this is afternoon. Good afternoon. I will want to say that the conference has been great. And let me take the first opportunity to thank the university management, the organizing team, the presenters, and the rapporteurs for the excellent job you have done throughout the conference. I want to confirm to the university management that following the experience we have had here at Machakos University, we will continue to participate in subsequent conferences. I think we need to emulate you, and I will want to say that those other colleagues from other universities will also wish to get invitations to attend to conferences in your universities. I want to say that we have listened to very good topics, very important topics in society, and when we go after this, let us develop more topics that can help to solve societal problems, influence policy, and develop technology, because that is what research can do for us. I can see our chief guest here. I think I was with him the other day at Safari Park, and I want to congratulate you for the effort you are making to see that research goes to great heights. With those few remarks, I'll want us to clap for the entire team, including the university management, for work that has been well done. Oh, I've forgotten that we had very good hospitality, very good food, very good welcome, very good everything. Don't you think that was very good? Thanks a lot for that, and God bless the university, God bless the management.
Yeah, and for that, you forgot. It is for this, for that. Thank you. Now it is my opportunity to invite Professor David Mulwa, who is the acting registrar real, to come and guide us in the remaining part of the program. And makofi, 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 makofi. One. Mvua inyeshe, mvua inyeshe, mvua inyeshe. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Ebewa. To our chief guest, Professor Dixon Adala, our keynote speaker, Mr. John Paul Okwiri, the CEO, Konza Technopolis, who is represented by Stella Moro, the acting Vice Chancellor, Machakos University, Deputy Vice Chancellor, members of management, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I'm told it's afternoon. Good afternoon. My opportunity is to introduce the keynote and the speaker of the giver of the keynote address, who is Mr. Paul John Okwiri, who is the CEO of Konza Technopolis Development Authority. For those of you who have seen the program, we have the profile of Mr. John Paul Okwiri, but in a summary, is that the CEO of Konza Technopolis Development Authority, Mr. John Paul Okwiri, has provided critical leadership in the procurement and implementation of several large-scale projects at Konza Technopolis, including successfully delivering Konza Phase 1 horizontal infrastructure and establishing the Kenya Advanced Institute of Science and Technology. His exceptional business acumen was so instrumental in mobilizing resources to construct a Tier 3 national data center transforming Kenya's cloud infrastructure and data center services. He has demonstrated exceptional organizational and leadership skills in securing the 40th International Association of Science Parks 2024 conference for Konza Technopolis. Therefore, this event, the conference, provides an opportunity for global innovation, technology, and entrepreneurship leadership to come together and discuss the latest trends and developments in these fields. There's a lot as far as Mr. John Paul Okwiri is concerned. And with me is a representative of Mr. John Paul Okwiri, who is Stella Muhoro. So can you join me as we usher in Madam Stella Muhoro to make our keynote address. And for that, and for those,
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, audience. Where I come from, we don't greet good people once. So good afternoon again, audience. Thank you very much. It's my pleasure today to be here representing my CEO, Mr. John Paul Okwiri, who would have loved very much to be here because Machakos is a key ally of Konza Technopolis. However, he's leading a delegation in South Korea because South Korea has been an ally of Konza Technopolis in realizing a lot of the dreams of the Technopolis. So he sent me, and Prof, I hope nitatosha mboga. I'll do my best to sound like my CEO, Mr. John Paul Okwiri. So I will read the speech that was given to me by the CEO. And his speech is titled, Knowledge for Growth, the Role of Konza Technopolis in Harnessing its Potential in Kenya. So at Konza Technopolis, our vision is to be a leading global technopolis and innovation hub. And in that, we have experienced the transformative power of collaboration in research, innovation, and technology over the last 10 years. Machakos University has been one of the key partners in this journey, including hosting the IASP, that is the International Association of Science Parks, Africa Chapter Conference that we held last year, the Luban Workshop, hackathons, the Silicon Savannah Professional Program, the Konza Innovation Week, the Konza Greening Initiative, among others. So Machakos University is center and a key ally of the Technopolis. So today's theme is interesting and comes at a time when the challenges of a financial economic crisis, climate change, energy and food security, and the COVID-19 pandemic have made us critically aware of two immutable things. One, how interconnected and interdependent our world has become. And two, how important it is to actively seek sustainable solutions to our challenges. So at Konza Technopolis Development Authority, we are normally known as KOTDA, we are confident that by accelerating and scaling our impact, we will catalyze the growth of Kenya's knowledge-based economy output by focusing on three core clusters. These are ICT and IT-enabled services, life sciences, and engineering. And to achieve this, we are developing a corporate approach, working closely with the national and county governments, citizens, development partners, universities, mobilizing the private sector in construction, operation, and commercialization. Ladies and gentlemen, knowledge is central both for a deeper understanding of these challenges and through research and innovation for finding the best solutions, which may not only help us deal with the problems, but also give us an edge in our globally competitive world. At Konza, we are working to ensure that Kenya can harness knowledge and innovation to eliminate poverty and boost shared prosperity. And this is through development and expansion of required knowledge infrastructure, which at Konza Technopolis, we say it includes human capital, science, technology, and engineering capabilities. The second one is the provision of incentives to attract both public and private investors at Konza Technopolis. And I take this juncture to invite our participants from Uganda and Zimbabwe and all others. There is room for you at Konza Technopolis. Ladies and gentlemen, in thinking about research, innovation, and technology, which are the core of our offering, the authority developed the Konza Innovation Ecosystem Initiative that seeks to address two key issues affecting the innovation space. That is the commercialization of research and the disjointed efforts in the space due to an uncoordinated innovation pipeline. The initiative contributes to the consolidation and harmonization of innovation efforts by bringing together the key industry players, and these are academia, government agencies, private enterprise, and what we call the third sector. To date, the initiative has provided the partners with an opportunity to consider how the country integrates our actions and policies on research and technology better. Consequently, in drawing all these collaborative strands, Konza Technopolis proposes a focus on the following key areas and issues. 1, creating a single market for knowledge, allowing researchers, ideas, and technologies to flow freely across the East African region, Kenya, the Technopolis, and Africa as a continent, encouraging better and stronger collaboration between the industry and the academic world in an environment of open innovation. Secondly, attracting direct investment in areas of technology, research, and development through the creation of an enabling environment where industries thrive at ease. And one of these places is Konza Technopolis. Attracting the best brains to work in research, technology, and innovation. At Konza Technopolis, we are providing a smart city, offering a good quality of life and world-class services and standards. Fourth is knowledge transfer and digital skill capacity building across the country. And this is anchored on our values, which we shorten to say NICE values, which is nurturing, innovation, collaboration, and excellence. The authority continues to explore strategic investment and partnership geared towards building a resilient and sustainable human capital in the country in the areas of ICT and IT-enabled services, and this includes the Silicon Savannah Professional Program, which provides industry attachment and internship opportunities to university and college students. One of the great beneficiaries of the program is Machakos University, and I'm sure this has nothing to do with the close proximity to the Technopolis, both in distance and at heart. Further, the authority, in collaboration with the ICT Authority of Kenya and the Kenya TVET Authority, launched the Jitume Digital Enablement Program, an initiative aimed at providing the youth with access to digital services, digital skills, and opportunities to enable them to take advantage of technology for job creation. It has also worked in a collaboration with the Ministry of Education to explore opportunities to develop and introduce coding curriculum in primary and secondary education. Lastly, to develop and advocate for modern research and innovation policies in Kenya, based on the principles of good governance which are relevant across all sectors. At Konza, we have strategically developed policies geared to activation of the various instruments and mechanisms, focusing on the knowledge infrastructure, that is human capital, science, and engineering capabilities, encouraging private sector expenditure through various kinds of incentives and demand-side initiatives, and developing Kenya's comparative advantage in innovation, in certain innovation areas. So these policies are valuable in two ways, because one, by rapidly addressing Kenya's socioeconomic and global problems, and two, by playing a contracyclical role during the current or the looming global recession, if you like. ladies and gentlemen, underpinning the country's digital economy acceleration is the requisite commitment that Konza Technopolis collaborates with universities in driving uptake of research, technology, and innovation in the country. But we cannot ignore the concerns raised in the context of how can we improve, empower, motivate our Kenyan universities to be at the forefront of international research, providing Kenyan firms and the government with the best and most relevant research? Do Kenyan business firms have the capabilities needed to grasp the research outputs of the Kenya university faculties and trainees, and so interact effectively with them in solving operational problems and developing innovations? What are the recommendations that we will put forth? So for the universities and the private sector to capitalize on the various programs and harness the potential for research, innovation, and technologies in our universities, which is a key pillar in driving the socio-economic development in Kenya, in Africa, and indeed globally. And noting that without an abundant supply of basic knowledge, human capital, and academic collaborations, private investment in these areas are at risk. So ladies and gentlemen, in conclusion, as we move forward to leverage on research, innovation, and technology for socioeconomic development, we are committed to working with Machakos University and other universities across the country and across the region to strengthen the innovation ecosystem through developing and implementing policies, programs, and projects that drive research, innovation, and technology. It also means engaging the public to understand the ever-emerging socioeconomic challenges that could be addressed through collaboration between Konza, the universities, and the private sector. We are also keen to receive feedback on how the Technopolis programs impact the universities, communities, and the private sector, and how we can improve on these policies and programs. We invite you all to partner with us to achieve the aspirations of sustainable development of our country as espoused in our Vision 2030, in the bottom-up economic transformation agenda, and for Africa as espoused in the Agenda 2063, which lays out the Africa we want, and the SDGs, to which we have all ascribed to. My boss had stopped there, but I'd like to add onto that an invitation. Kenya won the bid, or rather Konza Technopolis won the bid to host the 2024 International World Congress of the International Association of Science Parks, which will be held in September 2024. We are asking, and Machakos has already committed to working with us, but we are asking also the partners of Machakos universities, our brothers from across the border. It is the second time it is coming to Africa, and it is the first time it is coming to Eastern Africa. We invite you to join us as members of the IASP so that Africa can lend its voice in the area of science and innovation worldwide, and so that we can have an event next year befitting our continent, and so that we can be able to achieve maximum benefit from hosting this. I thank you very much.
Thank you, Stella, for that keynote address, which is very educative. For those partners from Chabogo, Kabale, and National University of Science and Technology, I think yesterday in the afternoon, you visited Konza Technopolis. And the reason is Konza, we to some extent talk of it as a college, Constituent College of Machakos University. And when we are at Konza, we normally say that Machakos University is an extension of Konza Technopolis. Can we give a clap? 1, 2, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, let me invite Professor Jonas Agwata, who was the secretary of the organizing committee, to usher in Professor Stanley Makindi, who was the chair of the conference organizing committee, to make a recap, probably within 2 minutes, 3 minutes. Thank you.
afternoon. Good afternoon. My responsibility is to welcome Professor Stanley Makindi, who was the chairman of the conference organizing committee, to do a recap and provide recommendations for the way forward. But before I do so, allow me to say one thing. That at Machakos University, we have the Directorate of Research, Innovation, and Technology Transfer. And the Directorate provides the secretariat that was organizing this committee. And in that secretariat, we had a team comprising of Nancy Ngoshe, Elizabeth Mbatha, Lynette Meso, we had Sam Kieti, and then we had Naftali Nduto. That is a powerful team that has worked to ensure that everything ran smoothly as up to where we are currently. And it is congratulations to that team, and we want to praise God for their dedicated service to make sure this conference went on properly as was intended. John Sagwata is my name, the Director of Research, Innovation, and Technology Transfer at Machakos University. My pleasure to invite Stanley Makindi, who was the chair of the organizing committee, to do a recap and provide recommendations for the way forward. Stanley.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Director, Research, Innovation, and Technology Transfer, Professor Jones Angwata. So to our chief guest, Professor Dickson Andala, the representative of the Konza CEO, Stella Muoro, our acting Vice Chancellor, the DVCs present, members of university management, delegates, invited guests, participants, good afternoon. So my name is Stanley Makindi. I'm an associate professor in the Department of Environmental Sciences, and I was the chairman of the organizing committee for the 5th Machakos University International Conference. I had a very powerful committee under the leadership of our Deputy Vice Chancellor, Research, Innovation, and Linkages, Professor Peter Mwita. Maybe the committee members, you can just stand to be seen, led by the registrar. We have the registrar, we have the director, and I know there are many others who are engaged outside. So thank you so much for the wonderful work that you have done. My duty here is just to give a brief recap of what transpired during the 3 days of this conference. So as we come to the end of the conference, allow me to briefly present a few highlights and the way forward. So the conference has been quite informative, fruitful, and exciting since the first day, with a discourse of paper presentations and plenaries that resonated very well with the conference theme of leveraging research, innovation, technology for socioeconomic development, and also with the mandate of our university in scholarly education, training, research, and innovation for industrial and technological transfer for our communities. So we had very thought-provoking messages, both from our chief guests. Our conference in the open day was graced by the chairman of the University Council, and we had a presentation from our chief guest, that is Professor Kameri Bote, from the director of the Law Division, UNEP, and we had keynote addresses from many other scholars and members from other institutions throughout the sittings of our conference, and we really appreciate. So from all these messages and plenaries, we had very vibrant discussions as anticipated towards addressing global and local situational challenges to enhance the attainment of sustainable development goals. Notable highlights were presentations on innovative and nature-based technologies to curb climate change challenges, sustainable agriculture, smart infrastructure, knowledge management, communication, and technology applications. So despite a few technical hiccups that we had, we can rate that our conference was a success. We had more than 85 presentations, both physical and online, right into this morning up to about midday. We still had presentations. And on the way forward, we really appreciate all the authors, and we are promising, as we request that they review their papers and reach them with the input from the conference discussions for publishing in the book of conference proceedings and possible publication in the Machakos University Journal of Science and Technology. The presenters will also receive or will be awarded with a certificate of participation. We have also given evaluation forms where you can evaluate our conference, both physically and online. And this will give us the lessons that we can learn as we anticipate to hold or host future conferences. So once again, thank you very much for gracing our conference, and God bless you. Welcome to Machakos University, and we look forward for a fruitful engagement in the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Makindi, for that brief recap of the conference. I believe the lessons that we learned will go a long way in ensuring that we make the 6th International Conference a more organized one, and the few challenges that we have experienced will be a thing of the past. A clap for him. Thank you. At this juncture, our chief guest, I'll invite the Deputy Vice Chancellor, Research, Innovation and Linkages, Professor Peter Mwita, who was the team leader of that committee, of course led by the acting Vice Chancellor, then the Deputy Vice Chancellor, Professor Peter Mwita, and other members of university management who were able to work very closely together, and we were able to organize the conference and audit the way it has been. So ladies and gentlemen, join me as we invite Professor Peter Mwita to make his closing remarks. Karibu, Professor. Let's clap until he's here.
Our chief guest, Professor Dickson Adala. I think now we will continue mentioning our chief guest's name for us actually to know and not forget that name, because this is the only day that we have Professor Adala closing this conference. Keynote speakers represented by Ms. Stella Muhoro, our acting Vice Chancellor, who is also represented by Professor Mgendi, my colleague, DVCs, participants, our students, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Mr. Chief Guest, because of time constraints on your part, I will cut down my remarks by 50%. But the full remark will actually be contained in the book of proceeding that you've heard here. At the same time, I would like to challenge the committee members to fast track that book of proceeding. Instead of taking 1 month, as we have been doing traditionally, we take 3 weeks so that members can actually follow, be able to follow the full details of the book of proceeding. That is one of the outputs of this conference. Mr. Chief Guest, as you've heard, Machakos University 5th International Conference, under the theme, Leveraging Research, Innovation, and Technology for Socio-Economic Development, was officially opened by Dr. David Watane, who is the Deputy Director of University Education and Research, and was representing the Permanent Secretary, State Department for Higher Education and Research. I am happy to share with you that in the conference, a total of 85 papers were presented physically. So this is actually on the lower side. The ones that we counted physically in each and every session room total up to 85. Over the last 2 days, and today, being the third, we have witnessed a convergence of brilliant research minds with groundbreaking ideas who have exchanged invaluable insights, and new networks have been created. So these networks are actually expected to be nurtured so that they can grow. We establish partnerships. We've heard from the representative of the CEO, Konza Technopolis Development Authority, extending invitation to these other universities in various countries through Machakos. So like maybe next year, when you are coming to the Konza Technopolis conference, you actually come now and start growing new partnership with the Technopolis. Now from the papers presented, it leaves no doubt that there exists more potential for researchers and academicians to contribute to our respective countries' socio-economic development agenda. Let us remember that the true measure of our success lies not only in ideas and results we have shared in these 3 days, but also the action that we are to take on various discussions and the way forwards are given. It is thought that translation of knowledge into tangible outcomes that will make a lasting impact on socio-economic development. So we have a journey that will lead us to the next international conference of Machakos University. And we hope that through the newly established networks that will grow into collaborations and eventually into linkages, we will come with more universities and other institutions during the next conference. Chief guests, distinguished participants, as we come to the close of this conference, I want to thank Machakos University for supporting this conference. Many thanks goes to our external partners, the Indian Bank and APSA Bank, for their generous support. I also thank the conference committee led by Professor Makindi for ensuring the smooth running of all the main activities in the last 3 days. To our chief guests, keynote speakers, and guest speakers, we feel honored that you took time off your busy schedule to participate in this conference. Your presence and the contributions that you are going actually to give us today, and those that we already received, are actually of great encouragement to us as Machakos University. Now, special thanks goes to all presenters for the great work in putting together papers and exciting presentations that gave the conference substance for thought and discussion. My sincere thanks goes to our wonderful choir that really warmed these closing sessions at the beginning. Finally, I thank all other participants for constructive criticism and positive suggestions to presenters. So, of course, I'm sure up to today, you either have already gone through the feedback form. Some of you have already actually filled the feedback form and you have actually returned. So I'm encouraging all of us to make sure that the feedback form is actually filled and returned so that it can inform us for the next conference. In conclusion, Mr. Chief Guest, I invite our international participants, Ugandans, Zimbabweans, to sample some of our attractions. I know yesterday you went to Konza, but we have quite a number of attractions around here. We have Nairobi National Park, we have museum. There are quite a number. So I really invite you to spare a bit of time if you actually can find it and sample some of these wonderful features that Kenya has. Now with this, I would like to welcome our Vice Chancellor, who is represented by Professor Mugendi, to give her remarks, and thereafter to request the chief guest to come and give the closing remarks. Karibu sana.
Thank you very much. I think in the spirit of also honoring the chief guest's requirement to be in another meeting in Nairobi, I'll also abridge the speech. And hopefully this beautiful speech will be found also in the program and proceedings. So the chief guest, Professor Dickson Andala, CEO of the National Research Fund, the CEO of Konza Technopolis Development Authority, Mr. John Paul Okwiri, represented by Stella Muhoro, who is accompanied by Carol, the chairman of the University Council in absentia, Dr. Christopher Gakahu, Deputy Vice Chancellor is present, members of the university community, researchers, innovators, exhibitors, and sponsors, invited guests, keynote and guest speakers, staff and students of Machakos University. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. First comment before I read Professor Agallo's speech is that buffaloes are trending in this environment. I learned from our friends from Chambogo that it means the hill of buffaloes. The hall we are in is also called Kilimambogo, which means the same thing. So on behalf of Professor Joyce Agallo, I will read the speech. As we mark the end of an extremely successful Machakos University 5th International Conference, which has been running for the last 3 days, since the 14th of June, just this Wednesday. With much appreciation, I take this opportunity to give my brief closing remarks. First, I thank the Almighty God for the success of the conference. To all the researchers, exhibitors, sponsors, and participants from both within the university and outside who attended this important event. I would like to thank you for finding time to come and participate in person in this important university event. Ladies and gentlemen, I wish to express my appreciation to all those who came to present and share research, whether they did this physically or virtually. in presenting various papers on 7 sub-themes of the main theme of this year's international conference. For research findings, these research findings will surely go a long way to positively impact communities and societies at large. Indeed, the conference had attendees both locally, our own communities, as well as international participants, both virtually and physically. In particular, I'd like to recognize in a very special way the teams from Uganda, Zimbabwe, Botswana, and Tanzania, who actually took time to travel, some of them taking longer routes than others, and to join us to make this conference a success. So a big shout out to Patrick, Wycliffe, Penelope, Grace, the 2 Richards, Charity, Sunday, Tinashe, Ndlovu, Precious. All of you are dearly appreciated. It is my conviction and hope that the various research and innovation outputs that have been shared and demonstrated during these 3 days will be utilized to leverage research, innovation, and technology for socioeconomic development in addressing the current and emerging challenges facing our communities and the society in general. This conference has demonstrated the need for institutions of higher learning to forge strong collaborations and partnerships, and demonstrated the dire need for Africa to rewrite her story and remodel her learning solutions to include African solutions to African challenges. Indeed, as Chinua Achebe famously stated, until lions have their own historians, tales of the hunt will always glorify the hunter. We need to have historians for the lions. We must be deliberate in our efforts and plans in both interdisciplinary as well as multidisciplinary, and I also add transdisciplinary fields. As the African proverb goes, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go with others. And we need to do this together so as to contribute to the debate on sustainable development. So on my own behalf, and that of the University Council, University Management, and Machakos University Fraternity of staff, students, stakeholders, partners, and sponsors, I thank you all for your participation during this conference. For those who attended physically, as you travel back home, it's bon voyage, safari njema in Swahili, and we look forward to seeing you again when we host the 6th annual international conference, God willing. Remember, as Alvin Toffler stated, the great growling engine of change is technology. So our guest speaker, with those very few remarks, it is now my distinct honor and pleasure to invite you, Professor Dickson Andala, CEO of the National Research Fund, to give your speech and to officially close this exciting event. Thank you, and God bless you all.
Good afternoon. Yeah, it's a pleasure to be back at Machakos. I've been here in several occasions, and this particular one is distinct because I've seen my seniors here. Professor Mbeiwa, he attained as while we were students at Kenyatta University, and I can see he's still doing the same. My longtime Professor Guata, he taught me some time back, 2015, thereabout. And I've seen so many colleagues from Kenyatta University, others from Multimedia University. My former boss is here, Professor Mwita, so I'm humbled. I'll try to make my speech short because I'm required to go commission a project. The PS is also there, and usually you should arrive before you are senior. I hope so, but hopefully there's no traffic. I realize there's no chairman, but I'll start with the acting vice chancellor, Professor Mugendi, whom we've been with for quite some time, the chief executive officer, Konza Technopolis Development Authority, keynote and guest speakers, officials and representatives of county government of Machakos, conference participants and also others from other countries, members of staff, students of Machakos University, distinguished guests, sponsors, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. It is a great pleasure to be with you today as a chief guest at the closing ceremony of the 5th International Conference of Machakos University. May I extend warm congratulations to all those who made the conference a success. These include the organizers, members of the council, university management, keynote speakers, university staff, and the students in the house, because we are nurturing the students, and our visitors from across Africa. I hope those who came out of Africa, maybe Europe, do you have any? Next time, to make it even more international, I expect to see our Chinese counterparts, because they are here in Kenya and they're in big numbers. We need to see Indians. So let me speak briefly about the National Research Fund. The National Research Fund is a state corporation established in 2013, whose mandate is to mobilize resources for research, capacity development, dissemination of findings, and maintenance of an inventory for the advancement of science, technology, and innovation. This is, of course, for sustainable development as envisioned in Vision 2030. I'll speak briefly to the two countries, that is Zambia and Uganda. The National Research Fund is a science granting council, which means it gives research grants. And we've got science granting councils initiative, of which the National Research Fund sits in. Counterparts in Uganda, UNCST. We've got our counterparts in Zimbabwe, also in that consortium. So if you come together, there is funding that is under the SGCI umbrella, and we can fund some of such projects that you may have across the country. So we can have researchers working here in Kenya, those in Uganda, and those in Zimbabwe collaborating. The fifth annual international conference, whose theme is leveraging research, innovation, and technology for socioeconomic development, is both appropriate and suitable, as it shows how research, innovation, and technology can be leveraged to address various challenges facing our country and those of the rest of the world, to ensure socioeconomic development. In an increasingly interconnected and rapidly changing world, which faces serious socioeconomic challenges, research, innovation, and technology initiatives are important drivers and pillars that can be utilized to promote sustainable development and to ensure growth of the society. The Kenya development trajectory is informed by the better known as the bottom-up economic transformation agenda, whose focus is bringing down the cost of living, eradicating hunger, creating jobs, expanding the tax base, improving the country's foreign exchange balance, as well as to ensure inclusive growth. To achieve these noble objectives, the 5 key pillars, which are agriculture, affordable healthcare, housing and settlement, digital superhighway, and creative economy, alongside micro, small, and medium enterprises, are the driving pillars. These 5 pillars form the government's priority areas that should inform the development of the country and be transformed into various research, innovation, and technology outputs in the universities. I know the same aspirations are with those who are from these neighboring countries, which the problems facing Africa is kind of similar. I am informed that Machakos University has developed and established a strong niche in capacity building, training of technical human resource in diverse areas such as engineering, business and economics, hospitality and tourism, design, education, agriculture, environment, and applied sciences. The university therefore needs to mobilize resources to enhance and promote research, innovation, and technology activities so as to achieve government's bottom-up economic transformation agenda. The National Research Fund has several open calls, which I encourage the staff at Machakos, as well as those from Kenyatta universities, to leverage on so that they can put in proposals and be able to utilize the funds that are available. Universities need to have the necessary infrastructure and requisite tools to map the landscape of research, innovation, and technology in their programs so that to promote and strengthen research, innovation, and technology culture for effective decision making. On this front, the National Research Fund, we are building a research inventory, more so a repository whereby the previously carried out or conducted research will be reposted into the repository, and there will be no duplication so that we're able to share knowledge. Relevant policies and systems, operational instruments, and regulatory framework, which are critical inputs for implementation and evaluation of research, innovation, and technology processes are also required. Reliable research, innovation, and technology information and the integration into training programs is necessary to catalyze sustainable socioeconomic development of our communities and societies in general. There is need to have a robust conversation and discourse on how research, innovation, and technology influence the socioeconomic development of society in the context of the significant role that universities and other institutions play. I wish to also encourage, because currently we are also having consortiums, and if, for instance, Machakos University, you are good in renewable energy, we are available to be able to support or give a seed fund to enable you be able to apply for mega grants. So I challenge the DVC in that portfolio to be able to put together his team or those researchers that feel they can be able to be supported on such a seed small fund to enable them apply for bigger grants. We are more than willing to do so. With these few remarks, it is now my humble duty and honor to close the 5th Annual International Conference of Machakos University. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you, our chief guests. Can we give a better clap for the chief guest? Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'll create some opportunity for awarding or giving of a gift to our chief guest and also to our guests who gave the keynote address. So I'll invite Professor Agwata for the gift, and I'll invite the acting VC and the DVC to give the gift to our chief guest, probably somewhere there where we can have a photo session. The DVC, Professor Mola, you also need to be there. And then after the chief guest will have Stella Muhoro also being given a gift. Let's clap. Let's clap. Thank you, our gift. And then Stella, please. A gift too. A clap, a clap. Thank you. That is very good. You may take your seats. May I invite Professor Agwata to give a photo of thanks. And then after Professor Agwata is done, we invite the choir to do the closing prayer in a form of a national anthem, and then we will go out for the photo session. Thank you.
Good afternoon once again. It will not be possible to acknowledge every person that has made this event successful. But allow me to thank the chief guests, the guest speakers, and the keynote speakers. I would also like to thank the University Council, the university management, together the senior managers, academic staff, non-academic staff, from all the units and departments. And everyone else. But most significantly, allow me to thank participants that came from outside the country. You made us proud. We are so very grateful. And as you head back to your respective countries, take our very warm Kenyan greetings, and we hope to see you back again when we have such an event. To all those who participated in various aspects to make this event successful, from hospitality to communications, to every section and department, photography, videography, everyone, be appreciated. We love you. We appreciate your best effort that you have put in making this event successful. But most significantly, I would want to appreciate our DVC research, innovation and linkages, for providing the leadership that was required to enable us bring our best synergies to ensure that this event was very successful. Those ones who presented papers, you are so very much welcome. The chief guest is leaving now. Kindly let's go and have photographs together with the choir. The choir, you are not done yet. We require your services. Because of the pressure of time and exigencies of duty, the chief guest has had to leave because he's required elsewhere. And so we appreciate them even as they leave. And as the photos are being taken, choir, you've done us proud. Rose and Betsy, you ladies are powerful. We appreciate your effort. The trainer, the choir members, I remember I was a choir member many years back, so I know what it is to build out those beautiful voices. We appreciate what you have done to us. You can now take up the floor and the belt. And don't forget Malaika. Thank you. Thank you. After this, we will take a photo, and then we would then be required to kindly. Can I ask Angeline Mwabu to come and close this session?
Thank you, Prof. Good afternoon, everyone. Let's bow for a word of prayer. Our dear and Heavenly Father, we come before you this afternoon. We want to thank you for the care that you have taken unto us since Wednesday up until this moment. We thank you, Father, for the success of this international conference that is just closing, King of Glory. I want to commit all the participants, even as they leave to their various destinations, that you may give them the journey mercies to whichever places that they are traveling to, King of Glory. For those of us who are being left behind, I pray that you may continue taking good care of us. May you continue binding us with your love. For the lunch that we are going to take after this, I want to commit it unto you. May you bless it before we take. In Jesus' name we pray and believe. Amen.
Choir, you can now do as good with what you do best. Thank you.